What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be discussing Aston Villa's potential lineup options for the 2020-2021 campaign. Obviously, the transfer window does run through until October 5th, so I'm going to be looking at some potential signings we could add into these lineups. I have two lineups today, one which I think is very optimistic that I want us to have. Well, it's still realistic as it could happen. We have been linked with all the players, and we have the financial backing to buy them. It doesn't look like we'll get all of them through the door, but if we do, I will be ecstatic. And then one other one, which is a little bit of a shot in the dark and wouldn't be available at the start of the season due to some injuries, cough cough Wesley. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. So we have Ollie Watkins starting as the number 9 up front with Milot Rashica, someone that reports have come out for today, and another report is that we are leading the race for Harry Wilson of Liverpool. Then obviously Grealish and McGinn in the more advanced midfield roles, Grealish getting more up the pitch, McGinn being the number 8. Douglas Luiz holding up the defensive midfield role, Matt Targett, Tyrone Mings, Konsa, and Cash in the back with Emiliano Martinez in net, as it looks like we will get either him or Sergio Romero for the start of the season. So as you can see to the right of the screen, that would mean we would bring in 5 signings: Milot Rashica, Harry Wilson, Emiliano Martinez, Matty Cash, and obviously Ollie Watkins and Cash have already been brought in. But anyway, like I said, with the 3 additional signings of Emiliano Martinez, Milot Rashica, and Harry Wilson, that will shore up some questionable positions in the squad. As although many people that haven't watched Villa through and through this season would think that our defense is very poor and needs improving, we've seen after Project Restart, mainly in the game against Arsenal, that we are actually a defensive team on our day and can hold out clean sheets against very good attackers. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Nketiah were 3 of the ones against Arsenal that we held out to no goals. But with that, obviously, Harry Wilson and Milot Rashica will create more for Ollie Watkins, and then we will push Jack Grealish back into his natural number 10 role, where he can administrate the attack and drop back defensively as well to help the team. So if this all goes well, I think we can really push up the Premier League table and avoid a relegation battle. So let's move on to the next lineup now, and this is actually going to be the last clip I filmed for about 3 hours because I have training to go to, so I'll be back. And he's returned. But moving on, so the second lineup is something that I would go for deeper down the season, as obviously you can see Wesley and Watkins would start in a 4-4-2 formation, so obviously Wesley would have to be fit once again, with Grealish and Wilson on the wings, along with Douglas Luiz and McGinn in the midfield to hold a little bit deeper back, Luiz hanging above the defense, with McGinn kind of bossing the number 8 role, as in the other formation being the workhorse that he is, with the same back four and either the goalkeeper of Emiliano Martinez or Tom Heaton, as if this lineup does include Wesley, Tom Heaton will also be available for selection as well. So as you can see to the right of the screen, it would be a 4-4-2 like aforementioned in the previous clip, but obviously Wesley and Heaton would be available for contention, so we're not talking beginning of the season, we're talking more towards the Christmas period and the new year. Hopefully 2021 is better than 2020. But anyway, moving on. So this would mean we would have brought in 4 new summer signings: Emiliano Martinez, Harry Wilson, Ollie Watkins, and Matty Cash, 2 of which are confirmed, Matty Cash and Ollie Watkins, as we all know, and then Emiliano Martinez and Harry Wilson being brought through the door before deadline day. Whether that's before the season kicks off or not, we don't know. I'm not going to say in this prediction, but I'd think we'd get all of our deals done before the season kicks off, as we'd like to integrate them into the squad. As like Dean Smith said, it was very important, because something that we experienced was a problem last year was Douglas Luiz's transfer, as he only had 2 days of pre-season before the season kicked off. So he took a little bit to settle in with the squad, and obviously he had spent the previous seasons on loan from Man City at clubs like Girona and Spain, speaking different languages. That's why we saw such a massive improvement from him in the second half of the season. By the way, it would be a 4-4-2 formation, which we've seen Dean Smith try before against Wolves, I believe it was, after Project Restart, which didn't go too well. But if he does go for it, it's a shot in the dark from me, but I wouldn't be too mishappy with it, as I do... unhappy, it's not a word. But I wouldn't be too unhappy with it, because I like Wesley and I like Watkins as well. But this would mean Jack Grealish would be in his left wing position, which would mean he would likely roam across the pitch like he normally does and strut the entirety of the field for Aston Villa. But anyway, let's move on to the formation which I think is the most likely, and let's find a middle ground. So this is the lineup in between my two predictions. I have Ollie Watkins, Trezeguet, and Harry Wilson / Milot Rashica. That would mean we would only get one of them through the door, and that would be our front three, with Grealish back in the number 10 role as the first formation, McGinn operating as the number 8, the workhorse, like in both of the formations before that, Douglas Luiz sweeping up everything and before the defense, perfect number 6, can shoot from distance, perfect player for us. And then the same back four as before with Martinez in net, as this would be a team that we would be able to start the season with. So as you can see to the right of the screen, the only real difference is that we would only get one of either Milot Rashica or Harry Wilson through the door, which I'd be pretty happy with. Obviously, we've been struggling to agree personal terms and convince Milot Rashica to come to Aston Villa, as he would like to play Champions League football. But according to a report today, like I mentioned before in this video, he has apparently had a change of heart. Now, whether that means he's open to a move to England, but only a Champions League club, remains to be seen, with Napoli holding concrete interest as well. But that is my most realistic 11. I do believe we could get the first 11 as well, but I think this is one that we most likely end up with, because I'd like to see Grealish back in the middle of the field, and I am actually a fan of Trezeguet. I know it's a controversial opinion. Many think he just runs around like a chicken with his head cut off, but I do like him. I, in fact, have a jersey of him, and I do appreciate all the goals he scored for us towards the latter end of last season. Loves a goal in a big game, but yeah. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. I sure have. Thank you guys for the support on the past few videos. I really do appreciate it. Keep subscribing, keep liking the videos, keep commenting what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, up the Villa.